From Heston in 1968 to Marky Mark in the early 2000s, the Planet of the Apes series has been established as one of the greatest in sci-fi. Yeah, maybe the Marky Mark hurt it a little bit, but then the next trilogy with Rise, Dawn, and War of the Planet of the Apes definitely brought it back up. I had not seen that trilogy, and I did for preparation, and I will say I feel like it's super underrated. So now under Disney, a new Planet of the Apes trilogy is set to launch, and Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes takes place 300 years after the events of War for the Planet of the Apes, and follows another young ape in his journey that will lead him to question everything he's been taught about his past and make choices that will define the future for both apes and humans. The Caesar trilogy was really fresh on my mind, so I was picking up on a lot of things. Do you have to watch the Caesar trilogy to watch Kingdom? Probably not. It just rewards you very well. There's even a bunch of shout outs and stuff they used from the original movie series. There's even a musical cue from the first Planet of the Apes. Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes definitely uses the Caesar trilogy as a base to establish their lore, their past. So the apes treat Caesar like they're Jesus, basically. So it sets the ground in that way. And the main villain of this movie is taking Caesar's words and is kind of twisting him to his own benefit. I will say I think the connection to the new characters is kind of missing there a little bit. From the Caesar trilogy, we saw Caesar grow from a baby chimp all the way up until his death as basically Kratos.
Boy.
So to be thrusted a new main guy, yeah, the emotional part was not there. They do try though. Like they do take stuff away from him. He's part of a new tribe. It's not until the second act where you really feel what the hell's going on and where the story is going. It's really about just survival in the beginning until he gets with the human played by Freya Allen, who they are all freaking out because she can talk, and it's like, what the hell, right? Because that's how far we're in the future. In the Caesar trilogy, there was a lot of sign language, and here most of the apes have evolved to the point where they speak. I like how they have their own accent almost. They have a monkey accent, if you will.
You said this Nova was smarter than most.
Within reason.
I have a name.
So the story beats hit, but I feel like the emotional connection between our main monkey and some of the other monkeys and our main protagonist girl is a little lacking, maybe just a little bit. I feel like ultimately there is a reason for that. 90% of the movie is CGI apes, and it looked great. The chongos looked like chongos. There was different. Each chongo looked a little bit different. You can tell when it was a different looking chongo. The environment and everything around it was really good. The movie is almost 2.5 hours. So it is a slow burn, but it's a good one. I was never bored or anything. It just takes, like I said, a long time for you to start putting the pieces together of the story, because they have you going one way with the story and they focus on the main ape, and then it's like, okay, what's this girl, where she's coming from, and then that leads to something else where the villain gets introduced and what he wants and his motivation and what they're fighting for, and then ultimately goes back to the girl, back and forth. So it takes a while to get there, but when we get there, the payoff is great. And along the way, there's sprinkles of action. This is 300 years in the future, so there are really no firearms. They have established a new like electric prawn, which is kind of cool. But you're watching CGI apes fight, which there's still some choreography on there, and it's still entertaining, and it's still really good because they build tension to it. So it's not just like, okay, monkey versus monkey fight. No, there's a total lead up to it. It's impactful action. It means something, and it pushes the story forward. It's not action for action's sake. Our main focus kept changing, so you're kind of on your toes. Like I said, you're following this guy, and then you want to know what these other guys want. So you're entertained. I thought the villain was really good. He's imposing. He's a threat. He feels dangerous. He shows why he's dangerous. But they also lay out his motivation in a great way where you understand what he's doing and why he's doing it. And there's a reason for that. So it's like bad guys with their points of view, and the movie did a good job in showing his point of view, what he wants. I just don't like bad guys for bad guy's sake. You know, like, why are you a bad guy? Because I'm a bad guy. No, it's like, why are you a bad guy? Well, because this and this happened, and I don't want this to happen. Oh, okay, I understand. And that's what they did with this monkey. And it's crazy that some of the movies are failed to do something that simple. Establish the bad guy's motivation. Why is he a villain? Why is he bad? And they did it here. Now, there are some human actors in there. Of course, I already mentioned Freya Allen. William H. Macy is probably the biggest star, I might say, He's had an extensive, brilliant, legendary career. Without a bunch of faces to put on a poster, this movie was able to tell a great story, keep me entertained, and do a good job and have me excited for what's coming next. I feel like today's now about who the hell can we put on the poster to sell tickets. That might be a sound strategy, but it doesn't necessarily mean you're going to get a great movie. I feel like Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes is a really good movie. It does plant a seed, at least it did in my head, because I'm already thinking about what's coming next, and I already know what I would want to happen in the last trilogy. Hopefully they let Wes Ball continue the trilogy. He was pretty good with the Maze Runner franchise, but I don't want this to be a hot potato across a bunch of different directors. Let Wes Ball tell a story. Let Wes Ball do what he needs to do to end this story and to keep the Planet of the Apes series alive. It's a legendary sci-fi series, so if you're remotely curious, I highly recommend it. In the Caesar trilogy, the movies got better as they were going, and if this trilogy is going to do the same, they did a hell of a job in starting it off great. So those were my first thoughts for Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. If you guys saw it already, let me know down in the comments what you guys thought about it. Any and all Planet of the Apes talk, let me know down in the comments. We've done the very first Planet of the Apes for the list, and I'll leave that for you right over here. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Remember to always and forever, you do you.